What is Iran's game plan with China amid Israel-Gaza conflict? Iran is emphasizing China's opposition to the current conflict between Israel and Hamas. China's foreign ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying said on Friday that the U.S. was standing on the opposite side of the international community. Her comments were about efforts at the UN to press for an end to Israel's strikes on Gaza. What we can feel is that the U.S. keeps saying that it cares about the human rights of Muslims, but it was ignoring the suffering of the Palestinian people, Hua said. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi called on the U.S. to adjust its position on Israel-Gaza conflict on Sunday. He was speaking to the UN Security Council. "We call upon U.S. to shoulder its responsibilities and adjust its position," he said. "The use of force cannot ensure peace, nor can violence bring tranquility," he said, adding it is important that Israel exercises restraint and observe the relevant UN resolutions, stop the demolition of Palestinian homes, and the eviction of the Palestinian people. On the one hand, these statements could be seen as China trying to isolate the U.S. and get back at the U.S. for recent criticism. However, Iran's media has emphasized the comments. Iran and China have a new 25-year deal. While this should bring stability to Iran and possible the wider region through China's Belt and Road Initiative, China is taking a tough line on the Gaza issue. China and Israel have amicable relations, but there are controversies because the U.S. wants Israel to distance itself from China. A port deal in Haifa and other Chinese inroads in Israel are a concern to Washington. Iran's press TV says that China's foreign minister blasts the United States for choking any criticism of the Israeli regime's barbarity against the Palestinians at the United Nations Security Council. It quotes Wang Yi at length. Iran's point here appears to be to emphasize that China is playing a larger leading role in the Middle East. In a way, China's statements here are an attempt to undermine regional and international confidence in the U.S. The byproduct is that China appears more reliable and consistent. Iran thinks it will win under this China-led system. Russia, which also works with Iran and wants to see the U.S. influence reduced, has sent Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Vershinin to critique Israel's actions.